the first kiss of sunlight.
I've had a really wonderful experience, but it's like a series of experiences in the last month. A feeling of real love and connection with my father, who left his body a year ago, next week actually. And that's probably him, that's the sort of thing he would do. He had a really great sense of humour. And when I first became aware of it, it was like a very, very strong. I felt very loved. I feel very, very loved by him. And when he was alive, he never ever told me he loved me, not once. And I knew he did. It was just that kind of old-fashioned. And then I started to think, actually, the timing of what was happening in my life that drove me to find you was 2 days after he passed away, and this like kind of madness went off in my head and lasted about 4.5 months. But it never felt that it was actually grief or anything to do with his passing. I didn't know what it was. And so now that these thoughts were coming, like actually he brought me here, he passed over, he suddenly understood everything, consciousness, and I'm going to do something. So, and then I just saw all of that. I thought, this is all thoughts. This is all kind of make believe. So I just left it, and then from time to time something of that nature comes up, and it feels very lovely. But I don't, get attached to it. I guess I'm just interested in your.
It is fine, no? It is fine, but that sense is there. It's not too much, I would say, to get too involved in that, but that as a being is in a higher experience, this is true. And, that love tries to communicate that at some level. Like an benevolence that can flow from there. So the important thing is really to stay in this beautiful neutrality. There's sensitivity there that you sense and see and observe and come to recognize and intuit. All these functions are heightened. No? Inside this great stability. It's kind of paradox that there continues to be this sense of spiritual refinement and maturity, and yet behind this is the unchanging self. So the mind cannot explain this, but experience confirmed that yes, it is so, but don't try to explain it. So just you see from here that something seems to be evolving and deepening and becoming more subtle, more refined, more intuitive, more sensitive, more loving, more open, more trusting. And yet it's held inside this unchanging awareness. And I just let it be. In the heart of that, one can continue to search for the sense of a tangible self, because the I feeling comes up, the person may sense to come. And you bring it into the inquiry to kind of look at, try to identify what that is pulsing as this I feeling. And just be in a state of quietude like this, and allow it to just be there. And a clarity comes again. And that clarity can take the form that seeing that there's no tangible, objective center of myself. And yet there is irrefutable, you are the evidence of your own existence, but not in the way that we've been brought up to perceive just as personality and as a kind of a me that just thinks the way I do or like the things I do and so on. There's a wider space than that, which does not move or clutch at things in a needy way, but they can be seen. And where there would formally be some reaction, some intensity of emotions, there's more space, and just like if the question comes up, like, really, what am I really? I mean, who's really living here? And there's a non-finding of a tangible entity called I. In the absence of this person, a tremendous pace and joy. I would not even call it light. Because light becomes even phenomenal to that. Nothing to work out. But a life seems to be happening and being lived in that space and being watched. The life is also watched in it. When I say that you're not living life, that you are life itself, and yet the witnessing of life is occurring also to that intelligent principle, you can call it. So you're not going to be easily shaken by things. The kind of personal things are much more brittle. The kind of personal sense is a much more brittle state. Easily destabilized and needy, and a sense of insecure. And this is where the poisons come from, of hatred or, sort of judgments, and cynicisms, all these things come from there. But in a wider self, in the space of presence, you're not, you're untouched. The sense, emotions can be there, emotions come, everything can come. But they don't have the same firepower as when you were functioning in the mode of person. Yeah. So all these things are just happening automatically. They're happening. Sometimes a powerful force comes to look penetratively into anything, into something, and to sort of detonate its power there. Then the mood can change, and another moment you feel simply just thanking God. Another moment, everything is thrown away, everything, including the sense of yourself. Something feels like throw everything. Another moment, include everything. And gratitude, and emptiness, and fullness, and no difference, emptiness, fullness. All these attitudes, all these moods come, but still they come inside something that doesn't come. This is various names are given to that, but itself has no name actually. But it arises and presents name in order to speak in the world of names. It must address itself as a name. Until the consciousness is so refined, it doesn't need the name. But it doesn't matter. Because we're not talking about some tight accuracy now, but more an attunement, a synchronicity, a harmony. And this is why I say that it's not so much about learning things, studying things, but more a synchronicity, a harmony. And through this field of harmony, whatever needs to be known or to be experienced, it comes automatically, spontaneously. Now, it doesn't mean that one does not taste a sense of hardship or effort. Sometimes this comes also, and it's necessary to stop any kind of complacency from settling inside the consciousness. So there must be some twang, a little tightness, a little tension, has to be there to keep this natural alertness there. Until even that also goes out of the consciousness. No need, no technique, nothing. So that's the simplest, simplest. Too simple to be taught. It can only be pointed out. You see. And your own satsang. What is pointed out is just traced with the sort of the laser of your own looking, and everything is simply being confirmed. Nothing building, not creating, just recognizing, confirming somehow. This is how you come back into your natural field, natural power. And there's nobody there. There's not a need to be an object person. There's not a need now, no attachment, no need to be, some form of object or something. You see? You may say a kind of pure subjectivity, beyond even the concept of subjectivity. One watches somehow life is unfolding, and that unfoldingness is included this body, and the activities that are expressed through this body is all the unfolding, the great unfolding. And yet there's not really any deep concern for that. It doesn't need concern. But in observing the fluidity, the ease, when the personal interference, intrusion is taken out, one naturally feels gratitude, naturally feels a praise, to sing praises to the Supreme. And this feeling of love and the joy, it does not go away. Sometimes an emotion or fear, a wave of fear can come, and the pulsation of that fear can feel very loud. But even in the midst of that fear, one never lose the sense of connectedness or oneness with the Supreme. Maybe you may find yourself saying, something. It is said that at the moment of the crucifixion, Christ said, in his fading breath, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani, my God, why have you forsaken me? But I'm sure, even in that, he knew, I can only be here. Because even the abandonment feels like a concept. But feeling is there, Myself also, it used to occur sometimes twice a year or something like this. A feeling would come of just big doubt. It would come like a doubt. And like a complete sense of lost. But I said, where did it come from, right? For a little bit you feel destabilized. Like you cannot find any ground. But quickly, I don't know if you can call it a voice, a reassurance, a sense inside you. Just knows this also is okay. There's nothing is there. You see? And some people, they call it terms like the dark night of the soul or something, where you must, it's like you feel totally isolated, totally left, and not even God is with you. This feeling can come. This feeling is very important. Feel absolutely love, even without the comfort of God. You must feel this and still feel the full force of your being. It is very important to come to some feelings when you feel maybe totally helpless, or you run out of moves, you have no moves to make. something the mind fears so much. But grace brings it to you in a new way, that you can feel that. And yet, if you collapse, it picks you up. You know, all these things, you not object, you won't object. You know, you will see that whatever life brings, it's some form of blessing, it's some form of blessing. In fact, their life is so rich with this blessing, but we miss the obvious things because our minds are preoccupied with another projection. And then we feel dissatisfied because life does not fulfill your projections. But as you come into letting go or come into recognition of the real self, this neediness and this tendency to project diminishes and comes into a quiet space. And only when you're quiet, or preferably empty, you can begin to feel the presence of God. You see? Otherwise you're full of your own noise, your own arrogance, own vanity and deceitfulness. And everything becomes a beautiful meditation. Pleasure or pain. But even in the pain, the flame of the pleasure does not go out. The joy of the being does not lessen. The peace does not diminish. The light does not fade. This is why you hear me saying, it's too much joy. Too much joy. Too much love. Too much peace. Too much peace. Because it's not something you're doing. I say it's because you're not doing. What are you doing? You don't know what you're doing. It's a vanity to think you're doing anything. It's the privilege of seeing. Attention, I say. And even though one may see with ultimate seeing, there's always still a quiet gratitude inside for the joy of experiencing duality. And because the more intense the duality, the more great the transcendence of it. Something is like that. Yet the one who is free is not attached to any state. They're not even concerned about freedom. It feels unimaginable because people say, but surely, if you, what joy can there be in life if you don't have some dream, some projection? Where would you feel anything by being empty? Then why are you doing here? What are you on earth doing to just be empty? But you cannot understand, you see. The mind in the form of the ego, it cannot understand. Because our conditioning makes us feel that you have to explain life. You must know where you're going. But the one who is free does not know where he's going, does care about going or coming. These are small matters for them. Just pastime. It has no deep significance. In fact, they're not going anywhere. They're never going anywhere. Where's there to go? But that might sound imprisoning to the mind that needs always a new thing to be entertained by. But in the liberated mind, it is always satisfied. The satisfaction. Contentment. I'm using words, I don't know. I use them, they're okay for now. My favorite word is emptiness. Kind of nothingness. And the most misunderstood. Because it cannot be understood. It can only be misunderstood. Or experience. We venerate choice and the a sense of achievement and conquering something. But those are phenomenal states. Nothing can compare to just that the perceiving of life unfolding without the intrusion of the desireful ego mind. Everything is, because it's not about the things, but the beingness. You're not tasting events, but the fragrance of the presence. So when you go out and you look, people look and they say, oh, but this is such a beautiful city, and oh, look at the sky, and look at that waterfall. But in the real experience, everything is just a taste of the being. All these forms, they are converted into pure juice, the juice of just being. It does not need all. The tree is only a kind of a symbol or a point of entry or something. I don't know if this is what we interpret. You see, I speak about it just for pleasure, you know.
We listen for pleasure.
I think this is the best pastime.
Yeah. The best is in the afternoon when you give satsang. Yeah, all the tiredness goes, and it's like a nice nap, afternoon nap after the heat of the day, and then just awake, go for rest.
You say something?
Firstly, I want to say thank you for the last Sunday. Since that day, I became much more active and happy.
Yes.
I mean, I became happier, but the more I become better, the worse fear is coming up, and I have to doubt. I have to ask myself or whatever inside me, like, is it real? My reactions and all the surroundings and everything, what is going on right now is real. And the biggest part of my fear is, what if I go back to Korea, for example, and what if I will just end up at the same shit, like struggling, sorry about my language, like struggling and suffering and like thinking too much and like feeling miserable.
This what if is really smacks really of the mind itself. It's almost like using the yeah, sometimes I make a joke and I say, you know, the mind is like this, while you're having breakfast, it's thinking what's for lunch.
So good.
What's for lunch, you know? You see, it doesn't allow you to simply, in being immersed in your own silence, it doesn't allow you to come bring something out. You see? But it has no power by itself, it does not have the power. You see? It only needs your attention, it tries to get your attention. Because without your attention, it has no power.
But I cannot stop giving it to it.
Yes.
I mean, I cannot fight and I cannot run away, and it's now I know how to kind of deal with it, like to observe it and to just watch it. But
not simply just watch it, not only watch it. You observe up to a point, but not observe to the point of interest, not observe like, not watching like you watch a movie. The power of the observing is only until you can clarify that the thing you observe has no real substance. It is only drawing strength from your belief and identity. Once you're clear about this, you see, the switch is flicked somehow. Something changes in this. You see? But it's habit. Habit, I don't know where it starts. Maybe not even in this life. You see, well, no, don't be afraid about this. I'm just saying that some habits, you don't know where they start. They can always be cut because they're not real, actually. The habit is only for the illusory person. You see? And when the habit is strong, is because the belief in the person is strong. You see? When the belief in the person is strong, the habit will match the belief. Yeah. As you come to see that the person and where you're functioning from is to do the projection. You keep on you, the real self, somehow it's coming from there, some power going to that identity. And it's as though you're living as the identity, rather than enjoying it at a very superficial level. Something believes too much strongly. But it's just changing, it will change completely. It will change. But what you say before, it's just come to me because I've heard so much like that, it smells very much of mind, because it tells you, because you're so something bad habit, you see, but you're enjoying now. But what if you have to go back? And then suddenly, you see, it takes out the sweetness out of your mouth immediately. You start to go, oh no, and then where it goes, you start to live in a future that doesn't exist, that you start to create right now. Once you understand the mechanism of that egoic mind, because something, somewhere, at some level within your beingness, within your life, at a cosmic level, you choose to have these experiences. Something that you want to taste this experience, to find yourself through this kind of experience. But something got immersed in belief and in somehow in some delusion, but like it feels thick, and now you're trying to shake yourself to be awake out of it. The person is not to rescue the person. You don't have to try to rescue the person. You rescue the person, it will suffer another kind of thing again. But to recognize yourself beyond the person. The person is you see, I said it when I remember now, because many things I don't remember. But things when I speak and something there, because I remember saying to you this, that you are at a very, very crucial part of your life in self-discovery, because you're running out of gas. You're running out of oxygen to be a person. The ego has eaten up so much space now. Little space is left for you to play around in. I see that as in an auspicious way. See, many people would see that as the most terrible thing. My God, my life is I don't know where to go. Or said, no, actually, you don't know where to go. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to. The only way you can go, you have to escape back in yourself. You have to go back to the truth. You see, but something in here is fearfully easy. It's like no. I want to be free. I want to go and live my life and do all these things and do all this stuff. You're not able to see, actually, that in freedom, you can still play. Freedom doesn't mean it's a serious thing now. You just don't have those type of thoughts anymore. But you can play. But you can experience the dream, but you'll experience it being awake. Not being a dream is dreaming and believing in the dream, then it is, lose-lose, not win-win.
But it's like, I'm just crazy. I have to ask myself,
Ego is completely crazy. Your ego, you may think you have an Olympic ego. Or somehow, of all the egos, this is the most crazy. It's crazy, it's just a question of at what point you recognize it. If you recognize you are crazy, then you won't want to be there. And your urge to be free of it is itself the evidence of grace is moving in you. Most times you don't know what to say thank you for. You say thank you for just not for weak things. But sometimes very intense experiences, they create choices in you to, change, it compels change. And a change towards not fickle states, but profound places of seeing.
And another thing, what is happening to me, I already spoke about it with but it's like I actually memorize almost everything, the color and the smell, the feelings, and pretty much everything I memorize. That's what I used to do.
Yes.
But since last Sunday, I cannot.
It's very good, no?
While I was listening, there was some question was coming up, and I was like, okay, when you finish, I'm gonna ask. And then while I was listening to you, it just went away, and I don't know what was it. I don't know. And I'm like, maybe it's just the beginning of kind of Alzheimer or something. It never happened before.
The best Alzheimer is when you forget the ego.
Yeah. It's just, I cannot. I mean, where's Gustav? He was yesterday by my side in the car on the way to Monte, but when I saw him there, I was like, how did he get here?
This is very good. This is very good. Very good. No,
for me, it's really serious. And the other thing is, on the way back yesterday, I asked, okay, what's going on there, like 1 p.m. because he asked me, and then I said, yes, I will come, but I don't know what's going on there. And then he gave me answer, there will be Skype Satsang, and then I said, oh, okay. And less than a minute later, I had to ask him again, like, what did you say? I know you answered me, but I forgot it. It scares me a lot because it didn't happen before, never happened before. It's like,
but these are beautiful signs, you know. It's sort of like you're acting out of character now. It's very, you see, something is shifting for you, and it's a beautiful thing. You see, the mind said, "Look, wow, look what's happening." You know, now you're really losing it, or whatever. This is very good. And then I ask you, honey, you trust this thing? You see, you don't try and understand it.
I cannot do that because I cannot.
Don't try and understand it. Simply just, yes. Say inside your heart, say, thank you. Just say thank you for this. Thank you for this. My heart is open only for the true, whatever it is, the true. Thank you for this. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for this. That's all. No, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't worry about it. It's very good, you see? Very good.
Fear is really big, and it brings me to the point where I really don't want to go. Like when I see myself thinking or talking to myself, it's like, you're gonna, okay, I'm gonna, let's do it right now because you're enjoying it, okay, and I'm let's doing it now. So let's see in a month or two if you can be like this. Now I can just let you do this.
Yeah.
And then you will suffer for in return.
This is a very bad relationship. The worst marriage. Bad relationship. It's amazing that this is your most intimate companion. And it speaks to you that tells you you're going to fail, you're not good. What's going to happen to you? Like the worst friend you can imagine. You see? So, and at a time like this, as you are now discovering and going more deeply, just being brought to grace into your true self, it's going to rebel a lot more, as much as it can, to do everything to sabotage your freedom. I want you to know that. But it will not last. You must discern the difference between yourself and your mind. Sometimes some confusion there, and when you're not clear, then he works in that unclarity. But Now you're not working by yourself. So higher power is with you. So it's, this mind state, it's on a countdown now. It's very different. So of course crazy things, oh my God, I don't know what's happening to me. It's all mind. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm not able to think. Oh my God, what's going to happen? It's all mind, not such thing. Something is changing out of the familiar groove. But I see it totally good. It's totally good. Totally good.
It's too difficult though. It's too difficult. It's
you can't
I
see.
cannot fight.
Well,
I cannot sleep. Last night I couldn't sleep.
Let's see. You say tonight, okay, I'm going to have the worst night tonight. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Okay? I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I'm tired today.
Yeah, okay. No, do it and see. Say, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I am not going to sleep. My mind is too strong. It's not going to make me sleep. See? Just try and see. And tell me what happened.
I cannot fight with it because definitely, as I was told that I will lose if I fight with it, with my mind.
You don't have to fight because fight is how it breathes. It lives in fight. It lives in your insecurities and it lives in your doubt. It lives through your fear. There's the mind gone bad. It lives like this. But things are changing for you. I told you it is going to change.
I don't know what to do.
You don't have to do it.
I mean, when my mind starts to drive me crazy,
Invite it now to do it. Invite it now to do it.
Yeah, now it's happening here as well.
Yeah, is it going crazy now?
Yeah.
It's going crazy.
It just keep talking to me like, listen to him, who is it? I'm sorry. But to be honest, it's just telling me, who is it? Why are you listening? What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Maybe all these people are sick. 100% honest. I didn't want to say it, but it just came up.
No, I love when you speak. You see our mind, your mind are different from other minds, no?
It's so malicious. It's so bad. I think it's killing me, and whenever I
no, it's not killing you. Or if it is killing who you're not. You cannot kill who you are. It's
so
killing
arrogant.
who you're not.
It's so arrogant.
No, I want you to listen to this because it cannot kill what you are. If it can kill anything, it can only kill what you're not. But if you keep believing you are who you're not, then you will rise again into being another episode of what you're not. It's a subtle thing. Yeah, like I say, the mind cannot intimidate the pure self. It can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. So intimidate your self-image, identity, which ultimately you must surpass this, you must give it up. You see? And the more it torments, and then the more you have to let go the thing that is being tormented. Not just the tormentor, but the tormented also. And you will find that you are still here. You think that if the mind destroys you're finished. You cannot, then maybe you see, but I'm not this thing. Don't just die human death. Die ego death. You see? Human death is to believe, oh, he's going to kill me. He'll tell you, jump in front of a train, jump. He'll tell you like this.
Oh, well, I didn't.
Yeah, you save a lot of you. Look how much trouble you cause people. Huh? Why don't you put an end to it now? You cause so much trouble to your family. Look how much trouble you cause them. They'll be better off without you. The train is coming. Finish now. Finish. Not finish. Next book. You don't want. Now, I'm telling you this, it's actually when I'm telling you something very beautiful. You see? So you don't give space to him, like this. You understand the way the mind works, you see? Most parasites don't want to kill the host. You see? Most parasites they just want to quietly live and draw the food every day. The host doesn't know it better. He doesn't. Take. You see? He doesn't want to kill, because if he kills you, then you kill the golden goose. Why you want to do this? But ego is not like that. He try and kill you. You see? But the real you, he cannot kill. But if you believe in your false you, he will kill you. But then you will resurrect as another you. So, in a sense, what you do is you die consciously, not physical die. I mean that you die to the belief in the self that you're not. It's not a painful thing. It might be painful in the sense that the pain does not come from the dying of the ego, but the pain comes from the fear that the death of the ego is the death of you. The anxiety that comes. But you're watching all of these episodes, all of these you watch. But you have to be conscious of your watching. If you're not conscious of your watching, then you become conscious of the person you imagine yourself to be. And this is a blindness. See? When you actually see these things, the story, everything falls away. It's nothing at all. There's nothing at all. You see? See? When you believe in your mind, it becomes alive. It's like if someone takes a pistol, puts a bullet in it, and it's a real bullet, and then you're going to kill you or hurt you. But if he takes a bullet and it's a blank bullet, looks just like a bullet, but inside, nothing happens. It's not real. Ego is like a black bullet. You may die, but not from the bullet, just from fear, heart attack, not from the bullet.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of thing I'm just saying like this. And this is not bad news. It's not to make you afraid. It's actually to open your eyes and see, actually, wait a minute. But I'm believing a lot of stuff. Maybe I'm creating a lot of this. I'm supporting my mind to bring in a sense of torture. Are you the person? In a way, you can say yes, because the person is also consciousness, but it's not very limited expression of consciousness. When you transcend this limitation, you're in the field of beingness. That's very different from being person. So here, witnessing more, identifying less. And your world is much more broad, more panoramic, more light, and not so hot. There's more space, more understanding, more intuitive seeing and perception. And the ego is very reactive, impulsive, quick to judge, misjudge, all of these things. It listens to the wrong voice also. So it's just these things are changing, and in the borderline of this change, sometimes fierce resistance comes, doubts come, and you're not quite sure if they're true, because mind said many things to you, later you find it's a lie, but in the moment you think it's true. You see? But he only needs the moment to be true. You understand? It is like some bad one, some smooth talking one, who comes and talks to you and tells you all the things that your ego wants to hear, and tells you how much of a beautiful life you're going to make. But he just wants to sleep with you. You see? But he tells you, next year we'll go to the festival in France, and then after we'll go this, and because he knows your ego wants to do this. So while you do this, you allow him to get what he wants. Then after he says ciao, he's gone. Maybe he doesn't even say ciao. He says see you tomorrow. He's gone. That's what he wants. The ego only needs to get you tonight, this moment, to believe this thing. It gets something from you. It gets a sort of like an energetic investment. It puts another root somewhere inside like that. I am not saying these things to frighten you, just to show you like the subtle ways that illusion can thrive, simply because you somehow are distracted from your natural power. You're tremendously powerful, but not when you divide yourself. Illusions can only work when you divide yourself, when you're distracted, when you forget. So the whole of this game is about remembering and sort of being reminded of your true nature. Not to develop, not develop. It's always here already. You see, even to develop is part of illusion also. You can say it's divine illusion, but it's still illusion. You can jump out of the whole thing if you can see that all this, just like any other dream, this moment also is a kind of dream. The ego, it's mind talking. In a few minutes it's gone, it means nothing at all. But while you believe it in that moment, it won that moment. And it can invest in a moment more than you. You understand? And yet, one chop from the axe will bring this tree down. One good chop from this axe, one chop from this sword will bring this tree down. Satsang is giving you this chop. Many things seem like it's a mighty battle, but in the end you'll see that all it required was you doing this, turning away from it. But because you did not recognize that, you went to school to fight dragons. And then you wake up. Yes. Many people are suffering only from imagination. When you discover the emptiness, the fullness of emptiness, then your neediness for the gifts of the mind, they will fall away. The gifts of the mind is only to bind you. You don't need it. But for a while you must taste the illusion and the delusion that you need. Otherwise the game cannot happen. This game has to happen. It's God's will. The game has to happen. Everyone must taste this wine of ignorance. See? But if you have ignorance plus arrogance, big trouble, big trouble. The ignorance, everyone is bitten by the serpent of ignorance. Some are coming out of sleep, some recover more. Satsang is the antidote for this sleep. Everyone is in Satsang. All the beings in the world are in Satsang. Why you come here? Maybe it was not even your conscious choice. Somewhere in your being is ready for something. Maybe not confidently ready. Maybe reluctantly ready. Maybe suspiciously ready. Maybe not ready. Maybe think I'm not ready. But if you really were not ready, you would not be here. Ready for something, I don't know. Maybe just ready for the 1 inch forward. I don't know.
I think it was like the whole universe was planning it, like about since 2 years ago.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, the resentment was my blisters, and before that it was Malaga. Before Malaga it was Korea. Before Korea it was Australia. So last 2 years, because I met a friend in Australia, and somehow he had power to see through me, and he was telling me all the things that very harsh way, but I didn't get upset, and blah 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 blah, and I came to Malaga, and there I met a Portuguese guy, and with him I suffered too much, and actually the feeling I had, like unloved, unwanted, and unworthy, and like all the negative thoughts were coming from this experience with this guy, and I've never felt in that way in my whole life with anybody. But it's like what I have been doing to others to hurt them was coming back to me from this one person, because he was doing everything that I have done wrong in my past. And then, after so many these little things, and I decided to walk the Camino, and then I started to have doubts of why do I have to walk this way if I cannot even be sure and enjoy, and it's another kind of torturing myself, and I did until I get this completely fit. And is the one of the things that I cannot really cut or cannot stop is that
all this thing, even that you speak and you say you meet this one person who allowed everything through this person, through this contact, everything you needed to that you've done to be paid back or something. It's your gift. At least one person with one thing, one vomit, for everything is finished. You don't have to go from this one to another one. And pass you around. Just one thing. You sorted that thing out. That thing is passed. You learn things sometimes in very powerful and intense experiences. So I think something inside you is really in a hurry to be finished with something.
I think so, because he's arrogant and ignorant. He is exactly the model, this extreme model of all the things that so far away from me, or who I used to be before. And well, what I have not have to, but what I do every day is like thinking about and bring me down with thinking about him, and like what he told me about myself, that he told me that I'm the only person in this planet that makes him feel bad. I'm the only person in this planet that
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. He needs to feel that. And you're the only person who could let him feel that, right? But you need something, you take it in the worst way.
I know that he only brings like negativeness, and then
somehow in the great scheme of things, it's still working in your favor somehow. Sometimes these bad things together, you say, okay, if you had each thing framed by, oh, it's horrible, it's horrible, but somehow it's pushing you to the edge of the pot. And with human eyes, you cannot assess your own good fortune. You cannot do it. With hindsight, maybe you looking back, it was good this thing happened. When you're free of something, free of your own self, free of your own.
What should I do?
No, nothing. Stop this thing, do. You cannot do anything. You're understanding, you allow this thing. Stop put so much emphasis on, because you think, what should I do? What should I do? This paradigm, this idea of doing is creating a lot of nonsense here. There's nothing to do. It's not about doing or undoing. Already grace is alive and active inside your being. But your mind is almost like work independent. It's still going, what should I do? What should I do? You know what to do, but grace is there. And you're not seeing like this. So it's coming clear by itself. You're not even, some people look and they say, oh my God, it's like you say, these things used to happen, I'm not able to do this anymore. And some people say, my God, she's so lucky. Like, my God, look at that. And people are doing 70 years of the pranayama and different kind of things to try and get rid of one silly little thing. Sometimes can't do it. And now, somehow, you are not able to do something or to identify something which was causing trouble anyway, is gone, and you're worried about it. What happened? I'm not able to. I'm worried. Why? Because I'm not able to worry anymore. You see? Yeah, it's fine.
Something somewhere within is touched at the first kiss of sunlight.